You know, nowadays, they say it's so easy to have a good life because there are only a very few ingredients to it. You know, you can see it on social media posts almost everywhere. Because if you eat good food, you go outside, you move your body, you have good companionship, then you must be happy. Then you must be healthy. You must have a good life. But guess what? So many people have all of these individual ingredients and they are not happy, they are not healthy, they are not wealthy, and they definitely don't have a good life. So what's going on? I guess there is more to the story than what they led us to believe. Hi, I'm Rita and welcome to the Holisticateds. And today I would like to debunk this myth that it's so easy to have a good life. Don't get me wrong, it's not difficult to understand. It's not difficult to actually implement in your life, which is difficult that there is one very major part that they all leave out. Because what do they actually say? You know, you can see it in these posts just listing the things what you need for a good life. So what do they list? For a good life, you need good food. And I agree with that 100%. For a good life, you need to go outside and get some fresh air. That's perfectly fine. You need some sun exposure. And that's true. You need to have good companionship, friends and laughter and your social circle. That's all true. What else do they say? You need to move your body. Yes. And you need to be mindful. Mindful. Get rid of stress. And these are all fine. I agree with this 100%. So what's wrong with this list? So many people have already doing this. Good food, what they eat. They go to the gym, they go outside, they move, they are mindful, they meditate. Why don't all we have a good life? Because there is one more thing which is missing, which they misled you by saying if you have all of these individual ingredients per day, then you must have that equals a sum of a good life. But this is not true. This is not true. This is what actually fragmentation is. Fragmentation means doing life in pieces. This is never going to give you a good life. This is going to give you a part of a good life, but not a whole system. Because that's what they actually miss out. We are not parts. We are a sum of our parts. We live in a physical body. Yes, we need to do all of these things for our physical body. Yes, we are governed, led by our mind. Of course, we have to be mindful and reduce stress. And of course, we have to support our body and mind with good food and good information. Yes, but we must not do it in pieces. We are not, I'm body here, so I'm doing this for my body. I'm mind here, I'm doing this for my mind. And I'm food here, so I'm doing the food bits in separation. This is fragmentation, doing things in separation, doing things in pieces. It's never ever going to give you a good life. This gives you ingredients for a good life. What you miss, what they miss, is the system, how to put it together. Because we are a system. Our mind constantly affecting our body. The nutrition is constantly affecting how we think, thinking about brain fog and not being able to think at all, as well as how our body feels. And if our body is sick and ill, trust me, you are not going to feel emotionally well, as well as you are not going to want to have the most organic ingredients. Or if you feel low, or if you didn't sleep well, what do you want? You want sugar, you want coffee, you want some kick, because your body feels tired. We are one system, constantly influencing each other. We are mind, body, and nutrition. body, mind, and nutrition, all three at the same time, all the time. Not just the ingredients, what we see. I actually found a very good example. There are a couple of very good examples. If I give you some tires, an engine, and a chassis, do you have a car? No, you have parts for a good car. Think of IKEA. If I give you screws, if I give you legs, if I give you doors, do you have a wardrobe? No, you have ingredients for the wardrobe. If I give you flour, if I give you eggs, and I give you some sugar, do you have a pancake? No, you have the ingredients for a pancake. If I give you all of this and you just use, now I use the eggs, now I use the flour, now I use the sugar, you don't know how to mix it together, how to put it into one system, it's never gonna give you a good life. Because a good life is a whole life. Because you are a whole human being. You are a body plus mind plus nutrition all the time at the same time. That's what holistic life means. It's not a new age woo-woo. It's not a hippie phrase. This is the most logical way to our lives because this is who we are. We are body and mind and nutrition. Yes, there are individual ingredients what you need for your well-being. But if you do things in separation, not putting it together in the right order, because you can put the tires on top of your chassis, it's never gonna make you a car. Or if you have an orchestra, if all the violinists doing her stuff in the best of her ability, if the cello person does cello in the best of his ability, but without a good conductor to putting it together as one whole orchestra, it's never gonna give you a good life. So what is the solution? The solution is number one, realizing that you are a whole human being. You cannot do things in separation and expect to have a good life because you are not gonna get. You have to remember that all these three elements always influencing each other no matter what. So while these elements are extremely important, this is just one part of a story. You need to put them together into one holistic lifestyle. And that's what I'm so keen to share with you, the how you can actually do that. It took me 15 years. Otherwise, I was doing everything in pieces. And I was so surprised that my life didn't work. I was so surprised that I wasn't healthy. I wasn't happy. I wasn't wealthy. Even though I was doing all of these ingredients in the best of my ability, but they told me how to do it. You don't need new things. You don't need new hacks. You don't need new tricks. You need to put this together into one holistic system. And that's what I'm here for you to do. Actually, that's why I created the Holisticateds Inner Circle. That's our space, our private club, if you will, where we talk about how to implement this. Because it's a beautiful philosophy, but it's much more than that. It's a lifestyle, it's a way of living. This is the only way of living. How to apply all of this into our own life. I put the link down below. Do check it out because it's extremely important, not just understanding it, but applying and how to apply it into your own life. And that's what I share with you inside the Inner Circle. So I do hope after today, now you understand that why is it so misleading, because in principle it is so true that for a good life you need good food, fresh air, and friends and sun and move and so on. You do need that, but individually, if you don't put it into a working holistic system, it's never gonna work, because this is who we are, not a sum of our parts. We are a holistic system. and I hope I see you inside the inner circle.